Have you ever thought about the stories we tell? The legends we pass down, the heroes we admire, the historical figures that truly changed the world. What do they all have in common? Think about it. Do we tell tales of the person who always played it safe, who never rocked the boat, who spent their entire life in a cozy, predictable bubble? No, we don't. Because nobody, absolutely nobody, remembers the comfortable. Comfort is a warm blanket on a cold day. It's familiar, it's safe, it's easy, and our brains are hardwired to seek it out. It's a survival mechanism. Stay where it's safe, don't take risks, conserve energy. But here's the thing. We're not just surviving anymore. We're here to live. And living, truly living, happens just outside the border of that comfort zone. Think of your own life. What are your proudest moments? I bet they weren't the times you were sitting on the couch, binge-watching another series. I bet your proudest moments were born from struggle. Maybe it was finishing a marathon you thought you couldn't. A race where every muscle screamed at you to stop. Maybe it was finally speaking up in a meeting and having your idea heard, even though your heart was pounding in your chest. Maybe it was learning a new skill that felt impossible at first, fumbling and failing until, one day, it just clicked. Those moments. Those are the building blocks of a memorable life. They are forged in the fire of discomfort. Discomfort is the price of admission for growth. It's the signal that you are stretching, evolving, and becoming more than you were yesterday. We romanticize the idea of an easy life, a life without challenges. But a life without challenges is a life without victories. It's a flat, featureless landscape with no peaks to conquer, and therefore no breathtaking views to earn. It's like a book with blank pages. It's safe, sure, but who would ever want to read it? The great explorers didn't discover new worlds by staying in the harbor. They sailed into storms, navigated by the stars into the terrifying unknown. The greatest artists didn't create masterpieces by painting the same thing over and over. They broke the rules, they challenged conventions, they poured their own discomfort and vulnerability onto the canvas. The innovators who shaped our modern world, from the Wright brothers to Steve Jobs, were told their ideas were crazy, impossible. They faced ridicule and failure. But they pushed through the discomfort because they had a vision that was bigger than their fear. They chose the uphill path. Why? Because the uphill path leads somewhere. The comfortable, flat path leads in circles. Now, I'm not saying you need to go climb Mount Everest tomorrow or quit your job to start a risky venture. Discomfort isn't about reckless abandon, it's about intentional growth. It's about choosing the slightly harder option, the one that scares you just a little bit. It's choosing to have that difficult conversation instead of letting resentment build. It's choosing to go to the gym when you'd rather stay in bed. It's choosing to sign up for that public speaking course even though the thought of it makes your palms sweat. It's picking up the phone to make a sales call you've been dreading. Each of these small acts of courage, these small steps out of your comfort zone, they add up. They build a muscle. The muscle of resilience. The muscle of confidence. Every time you embrace a little bit of discomfort, you are expanding your capacity. The thing that terrified you last year might seem manageable today. The challenge that seems insurmountable right now will one day be a memory, a story you tell about how you overcame it. You're rewriting your own definition of what's possible. Think of your comfort zone as a little circle. Everything you know and feel safe with is inside that circle. Growth, opportunity, adventure, the life you dream of. It's all just outside that line. To get to it, you have to take a step across. That first step is the hardest. It feels awkward, scary, and uncertain. Your brain will scream at you to go back to where it's safe. This is the critical moment. This is where you decide. Do you listen to the voice of fear, the voice that wants to keep you small and safe? Or do you listen to the whisper of potential, the voice that knows you are capable of more? The paradox is that the very comfort we seek is often a trap. A life lived entirely in the comfort zone can become its own form of discomfort. It leads to boredom, stagnation, and worst of all, regret. The deep, knowing regret of what if? What if I had taken that chance? What if I had spoken up? What if I had tried? That is a far heavier burden to carry than the temporary discomfort of trying and failing. Failure, by the way, is part of the deal. When you step outside your comfort zone, you will stumble. You will make mistakes. You will not get it right every time. But failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone on the path to success. Every failure is a lesson. It's data. It shows you what doesn't work so you can adjust your approach and try again, smarter this time. The only true failure is the failure to try. So how do we start? We start small. Identify one thing today. Just one small thing that makes you a little uncomfortable. Maybe it's introducing yourself to someone new at work. Maybe it's trying a new recipe that looks complicated. Maybe it's doing 5 minutes of exercise. Whatever it is, just do it. And then, when you've done it, acknowledge it. Pat yourself on the back. You just expanded your circle. Tomorrow you do it again. And again the day after that. It's a practice like any other skill. The more you practice being uncomfortable, the more comfortable you become with being uncomfortable. It becomes your new normal. You start to crave the feeling of growth, the thrill of pushing your own boundaries. Look around you. The people you admire, the ones who seem to have it all figured out, I guarantee you they have a strong, ongoing relationship with discomfort. They don't run from it. They lean into it. They understand that it's the gateway to everything they want. So, the next time you're faced with a choice, the easy path or the hard path, the comfortable option or the challenging one, ask yourself a question, not, what's the safest choice, but, what's the choice that will make me grow? Not, how can I avoid failure? But, what story do I want to tell about my life? Do you want to tell a story of caution and predictability? A story of a life lived in the shallow end of the pool? Or do you want to tell a story of courage, of adventure, of overcoming obstacles? A story of diving into the deep end, of learning to swim in the waves, of discovering the vast, incredible ocean of your own potential? The comfortable life is a forgotten life. A footnote in your own story. The memorable life, the impactful life, the life that is truly worth living, is built on a foundation of courage and a willingness to embrace the struggle. Because in the struggle we find our strength. In the challenge we find our character. And just outside the edge of our comfort, we find ourselves. Choose the path that will leave a legacy. Choose the path that will make a great story. Choose discomfort. Because decades from now, when you look back, you won't remember the easy days. You will remember the days you were challenged, the days you pushed through, the days you grew. You will remember the days you truly lived. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If this resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd hit that like button. And subscribe for more content to help you build a life you're proud of. Drop a comment below and tell me one small uncomfortable thing you're going to do this week. Let's do this together. See you in the next one.